Hello, my name is Jeremy. Installing a Drake digital modulator compared to an analog setup is similar, but requires certain default settings. The Drake digital modulator is a resourceful tool for inserting a premium digital hospitality channel. There are certain default settings that will help you along the way. First, let's take a look at the hardware chassis. This is the Drake digital modulator. It comes with a single tuner encoder card with a Ethernet port. What you will need is a PC, Drake digital mod, and a cross connect cable to console into the unit. In order to console into the unit, sometimes people add a different IP address. The way we look for our IP address is hit the up arrow twice, which will state the IP address for the chassis. Once we know the IP address for the chassis, we will log it into our computer through Control Panel, Network and Internet, Network Sharing Center. Want to change the adapter settings, your local area connection, heading into the properties of the local area connection, version 4 TCP/IP v4, and this is where we will list our static IP information to log into the chassis. We seen on the front it was 192.168.0.1. This is the default static IP. It shouldn't change from this unless somebody changes it. Your subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and your first usable IP is 192.168.0.2. We will OK out of that, OK out of that. Make sure it saves the settings. Once we have done that, we should be ready to console in to the Drake. Put our IP here, 92.168.0.1. That brings us in to the chassis. The username and password, I already logged in. The username and password is admin and the chassis model that you're working with, which in this case is a EH24 control panel chassis. Now there are certain tabs on here: the status, encoders, channel, and output. Let's start with encoders. Select encoder module. We will use the 1 SDE, first encoder, because we're only using one in the back of this Drake model. Your video source will be a composite input. You can either use composite or S-video. Recommend using the composite. Your resolution, you can change from 480 by 720 is the highest resolution. Video encoder format, we're using a MPEG-2. We don't have many devices that use the MPEG-4 yet. Your video bitrate, leave it on full, a full 8.0 video bitrate. Picture settings, brightness, hue, leave all those the same. Audio settings, you want to, for troubleshooting audio issues, this is where you want to do some adjustments. The AC3 is your standard, and 320 kilobytes per second. Now, when you're trying to make your audio match the TV channel's audio of a existing lineup, you want to use your audio gain. Your audio gain will lower or raise your audio levels to make them match the adjacent channels. Once we have all this in place, we will hit apply. Once we apply, we can go over to our channel tab. Our channel tab provides an interface to configure the virtual channel mappings for the encoder host. The correct default settings, QAM PSIP mode will be CVCT. QAM enabled user defined numbers. We want to check that so we can define what RF channels we want to put this on. Major and minor numbers. These are what the major and minor numbers will show on your television set. So right now we have them set at 2.1 and 2.2. Encoder 1, MPEG number 2. Go ahead and hit apply. Now to our output. On our output page, we are not dealing with DTA EAS, ASI output at all. So we're going to pass through the ASI output. What we're wanting to enable is our QAM output. QAM PSIP mode will be QAM CVCT. In QAM CVCT mode, we will check Enable User-Defined QAM Numbers. Under User-Defined QAM Numbers, we have the RF output level. With the RF output level, this is where we can balance our modulated QAM to the existing QAMs that we will be inserting it to. Instead of using inline pads and splitters or something to decrease and increase your output levels, the best place to do it is from right here. We have all the way from 62 dB to 45 dB. Output mode normal. Modulation, we're using a 256 QAM modulation technique. Symbol rate preset. Channel plan CATV standard. And channel number. Channel number is your 2, encoder 1, 2, encoder 2. On a digital format that will show on the TV as 2-1 and 2-2. Single QAM, 2 channels per QAM. We will hit apply on that. Once we hit apply on that, that takes care of all of the default settings for your Drake digital modulator. According to the Business Wire, your asynchronous serial interface, your ASI digital input signal with quadrature amplitude modulation, and it upconverts into an RF output on any cable TV channel. The Drake is a compact, high-performance solution for the digital TV, television, head-end, and local channel insertions. Thank you.